cell, the unit of life. Why cell is called as the unit of life? All the living organisms are made up of cell only. Cell is building up to make a complete organism. Like bricks are used to make a complete construction. Same like that, every living organism has cells that build up the complete structural organization. It is called as structural and functional unit. Structural and functional unit. Why is it called as structural and functional unit? Structural because it is building up the structure of the organism. Functional because all the functions that occur in an organism occur at cellular level. You take it transportation, you take it respiration, energy release, whatever functional process occur, they occur at cellular level. That is why this cell is called structural and functional unit of life. Based on the number of cells present, organisms are divided into, based on number of cells, organisms are divided into unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms have only one cell. They are made of only one cell, and all the body processes related to respiration, transportation, excretion, all these occurs in a single cell. Example for unicellular organisms, you can take amoeba, paramecium, euglena, all this, all bacteria, etc. Multicellular organisms are those organisms which have more than one cell in their body. All higher organisms, all organisms like fungus, plants, animals, all these are multicellular. Okay? Right. So yesterday we discussed that the first cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. And he observed the oak tree's bark to identify the first cell. And first living cell was observed by Antony von Leeuwenhoek. He observed the living cells in a drop of water, a drop of blood, etc., and named them as animal fluid. Now we'll try to understand cell theory. Okay, I'm rubbing the board. If you want to take a screenshot, you can take it. Cell theory. Cell theory was proposed by Matthias Schleiden, One minute. Cell theory was proposed by Matthias Schleiden and Theodor Schwann. Schleiden worked on plant cells. He observed plant cells. He was a botanist. He observed plant cells. In 1838, in 1839, Theodor Swan did a similar observation on animal cells and found that when he compared this research with this research of Matthew Slidden, what he found, cell wall is a unique structure that is present in plant cells. Plant cells have cell wall, and every cell has a plasma membrane. That also he found. Okay, every cell ends at the plasma membrane, and plant cells have one extra layer, that is cell wall. That was identified after the results of Theodor Sand compared his results with Sweden. At that time, he found out that there is cell wall along with plasma membrane in plant cells. Then they both together proposed one theory that is called as cell theory. According to cell theory, all living organisms, all living organisms are made of cells. All living organisms are composed of cells. This is cell theory. But how these cells are formed, that they could not say how the cells are formed. Who said that? Another scientist, his name is Rudolf Virchow. Rudolf Virchow in 1955. He said about cell division. What did he say? All cells are formed from pre-existing cells. All cells are formed from pre-existing cells. You saw about cell division in amoeba, how one cell is dividing to form two cells. Two cells are dividing to form four daughter cells. Same like that, in every living organism's body, cell division occurs. And because of cell division, only new cells are formed. That was identified by Rudolf Virchow in 1955. He gave a statement in Latin, omnis cella omnis cellulae e cellula. Omnis cellula e cellula. This statement was given by Rudolf Virchow. What is the meaning of the statement? All cells are formed from pre-existing cells. So after this discovery was completed, this statement was added to cell theory. All cells formed from pre-existing cells. Formed from pre-existing cells. So now cell theory has two statements. What are that? All living cells, all living organisms are composed of cells, and all cells are formed from pre-existing cells. Okay, this is very important. Cell theory says that all living organisms are made of cells and all cells are formed from pre-existing cells. Okay, so when cells of onion peel or cheek cells are observed under the microscope, it's very simple to observe under microscope. I'll say you the steps. Onion cells. Let us take onion peel cells. How to observe onion peel cells under microscope? When you are cutting the onion, you can see that onions have not the dry peel. On each layer of onion, there is another peel. That peel can be removed easily. You should take a onion slice and just break it into half. When you break, you'll see there is a slice. That small thin membrane you should take, put it on the slides. Okay. The slides are available, glass slides. On this slide, you should put that onion peel. Over this, another very thin glass cover slip will be available. That cover slip you should keep. Before keeping the cover slip, glycerin should be added. A drop of water should be added. Glycerin prevents from drying. What happens if you take only onion peel? That is a very thin peel. It dries off because of heat of sun, whatever. Even if you are keeping it in shade, it dries off very easily. To prevent that drying, glycerin, one drop of glycerin is added, or water is added, and then we'll keep the cover slip over that and keep it on microscope and observe. When you observe, these are rectangular cells, very compactly arranged, no space at all. Okay. When you observe cheek cells also same like that. Simply if you put your finger inside the cheek and rub it like that, the cells are very easily separated. Some of the cells will get deposited over your finger. If you put it in the drop of water, they'll enter into the water. Or you can scratch with some toothpick or something, or with a spoon that is having very smooth ending. Simply those cells will come out of cheek very easily. You put it in a drop of water, okay, and mix it. After mixing, take one drop and put it over the slides. This glass slide will be available. On that you put one drop and cover it with a cover slip and observe under microscope. You'll see, since it is all water, you'll see some of the cheek cells like this. Okay. So, when you are observing cheek cells or when you are observing the onion peel cells, what difference you'll see is here there is a cell wall. Cell wall is present for this onion peel cells. But in case of this cheek cells, there is no cell wall around. Okay. So that is the major difference that you find. Remaining things are same. Cell membrane is present in both cells. Nucleus is present in both cells, and all other parts of cell are same. But there are some cells which do not have nucleus. Certain cells do not have nucleus. Those cells which do not have nucleus are called as prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell. Okay. Those cells which have nucleus are called as eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells. Okay. So the based on presence of nucleus, based on presence of nucleus, cells are divided into prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Pro means primitive, which is formed in early stages of evolution. Karyon means nucleus. So before the nucleus is formed, these do not have nucleus. U means true. Karyon means nucleus. Okay. Here it is not saying that nucleus is completely absent. Here also, what is usually present inside the nucleus? Genetic material is present. Genetic material is present. That is nothing but DNA and RNA. We'll have a complete study of DNA and RNA at the end of this cell topic. Okay. This DNA and RNA are present in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. But what is the difference is, let us take this is the cell. Genetic material is present like this in the center. There is no envelope around it, nothing like that. Simply genetic material, DNA and RNA is present here. In eukaryotic cell, we can see that there is a particular nucleus which has membrane around it. Just like plasma membrane, here also one membrane will be there. Okay. Inside that genetic material is present. So the difference is in these prokaryotic cells, this membrane is absent. In case of eukaryotic cell, this membrane is present. That is the difference you can see in the name of the cells also. Eukaryon, true nucleus. Prokaryon, primitive nucleus. Before the nucleus is formed during evolution, it was like that. Genetic material was concentrated in cell. In the center of cell, sometimes it is scattered somewhere in the some parts of DNA are scattered here and there. Okay. So this is the major difference between prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Are there any other differences? Yes, there are other differences also. A minute. Yeah. There are other differences also right here. Prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotic cells or prokaryotes. Eukaryotic cells and eukaryotes. Same. So the first difference that you know between prokaryotes and eukaryotes is no membrane bound nucleus. No membrane bound nucleus. In case of eukaryotes, membrane bound nucleus is present. Membrane bound nucleus is present. When you observe a cell, normal animal cell, it has a plasma membrane, a nucleus in center, and there are so many other parts inside the cell. These are called as organelles. But in case of a prokaryotic cell, you, in case of a prokaryotic cell, all the genetic material is in the center and there are no membrane bound organelles in the cytoplasm. Okay? This membrane bound organelles are absent in prokaryotes, they are present in eukaryotes. Membrane bound organelles are absent. In case of eukaryotes, membrane bound organelles are present. Okay? All prokaryotic organisms are bacteria. Usually bacteria is all prokaryotic organisms are present in bacteria. Okay? All other organisms are eukaryotes only. And we can see that prokaryotes have small ribosomes. Small ribosomes. And eukaryotes have a little larger ribosomes. Ribosomes are little larger. How much difference is there? There is a unit called Swedberg unit. Swedberg unit. To understand the dimensions of ribosomes. According to that Swedberg's units, prokaryotic ribosomes are 70S ribosomes and eukaryotic ribosomes are 80S ribosomes. Okay. So there is a little difference between the prokaryotic ribosomes and eukaryotic ribosomes. Okay. In prokaryotes, I said you there is cell division for every cell. In prokaryote, cell division is simply by binary fission. Binary fission. Simple cell division method is binary fission. In eukaryotes, there are particular cell division methods called as mitosis and meiosis. After the cell topic is completed, we have a particular discussion completely on mitosis and meiosis. It is a long procedure, not as simple as binary fission. In this, there is change in genetic material and exchange of genetic material. All that will study elaborately in the topic cell division. Presently, you understand that prokaryotes have simple type of cell division, that is binary fission. You know very well about binary fission. Okay, eukaryotes have a complex method of cell division, that is mitosis and meiosis. We'll study about it later. And all prokaryotic cells have cell wall around it. Okay, like plant cells have cell wall, prokaryotic cells also have cell wall. But cell wall of plants is made up of cells, cellulose. Plant cell wall major component is cellulose. But in case of prokaryotes, cell wall is made up of another carbohydrate that is called as muramic acid. So the cell wall of plant cells is different from prokaryotic cells, but still they have a cell wall. Okay. In eukaryotic cells, plants have cell wall, fungus have cell wall, but other organisms have no cell wall. Okay, so these are the major differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. You can take a screenshot for this. Among these all differences, the major difference is this. Prokaryotes have no membrane bound nucleus, eukaryotes have a membrane bound nucleus. So, we'll see in sequence the cell organelles that are present inside prokaryotes, the cell organelles that are present in eukaryotes. We'll study them. Okay? Cell components. Cell components. The components of cell are cell wall and cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus. So these are the three major components of cell wall, cell wall or cell membrane. All will not have cell wall. Either it is a cell membrane which is limiting outside outermost membrane or cell wall. Okay. In cytoplasm, all the organelles are present. Organelles are present inside the cytoplasm. A nucleus is in the center of cell. We'll discuss about them one by one. Cell wall. Mitochondria, you take mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, all they are coming under organelles. We'll discuss about them in the organelles. Cell wall. Okay. Cell wall is the outermost uh, part of cell. In which organisms? In plants, in fungi, in prokaryotes. We'll see about the cell wall in plants. Cell wall in plants usually they are made up of cellulose. Between two different cells, the cell wall is present. It has cell lamellae, primary cell wall, and secondary cell wall. Secondary cell wall. Middle lamellae or cell lamellae is present between two cells. Okay. Here one more cell will be there. Here one more cell will be there. Here one more cell is there. Here one more cell is there. Between these two cells, this is cell lamellae that is present in between. Between these two cells, this is cell lamellae. Or you can call it as not visible. Okay. Now see, cell wall is have a cell lamellae or middle lamellae. Primary cell wall and secondary cell wall. Cell lamellae is the separation between two different cells. Okay, when new cells are formed between those two cells, first of all, middle lamellae will be formed. Once the middle lamellae is formed, just inside of that, one layer of primary cell wall will form. This is the layer of, okay, not visible. This is the layer of primary cell wall. This is the layer of primary cell wall. This primary cell wall is made up of cellulose, majorly cellulose. Other substances like hemicellulose and pectin are also present. Okay, pectin and hemicellulose are also present. After the primary cell wall is formed, then inside that secondary cell wall is formed. Why didn't I draw the secondary wall straight? The reason for this is over the primary cell wall. If this is the primary cell wall, over this secondary cell wall will not form continuously. In one area more deposit, in one area no deposit at all, in one area less deposit. So if you observe the inner surface of primary cell wall, let us take for example, this is the surface of a primary cell wall already deposited. On this you can see some areas where there is deposition, some areas no deposition. You will see different patterns. Okay, when a ant is going through the sand, you can see there is some places you can see it is raised, some places it is less. So these areas there is no deposition, so it will form one pattern. Inside, if you see different patterns, you can see. Sometimes you can see rounds. In this rounds, cell wall did not deposit. Remaining all areas, it deposited. Sometimes you can see one pattern like this, ladder-like pattern. In this area, cell wall deposited. Another area, cell wall did not deposit. like that. In these areas, cell wall deposited. These areas, no cell wall deposition. So not only this, different patterns are formed. Like you can see some reticulate patterns also, web-like patterns also. It will form a mesh-like structure. Different structures are formed in this secondary cell wall. Why? It is not depositing continuously. Some areas there is deposition, some areas no deposition at all. Where there is no deposition at all, that area is called as pit. Pits are the areas where secondary cell wall is absent, no deposition. Okay, that means from lamella itself, primary cell wall is formed. From lamella itself, secondary cell wall is formed. When secondary cell wall is formed, it is not formed continuously like primary cell wall. Some areas there is deposition, some areas no deposition. What is the secondary cell wall made up of? Lignin, suberin, etc. Okay, so that is about cell wall. What is the major function of cell wall? The major function of cell wall is it provides protection for cell. Function of cell wall is it provides protection for cell.